Hi everyone, Stjepan here, finally doing the Road to GM series once again. Today the Croatian League started. My team won the 5th Croatian League last year, and that's why we advanced to the 4th league this season. And we are one of the lower rated teams, and today was round 1. We played a team which is on average 200 points higher rated on every board. I was playing board 2, and yeah, it was a tough game. I didn't manage to win. I lost, but we won as a team, which is extraordinary. We won 4-2, and on board 1, our great player Mihaela defeated a FIDE master, and we had some more great wins. So we won as a team. That's the most important thing. I didn't know who I was going to play. There were 3 possible opponents. I've only had games for one of them online. The 2 others, including my opponent, have no games of theirs online. So it was really tough to prepare, but luckily I was black, so my repertoire is narrow, so I knew basically it could be 2 or 3 different openings. I'm going to try to remember the whole game. I might have to look at the score sheet at some point, but I hope not. So anyway, my opponent opened with d4. I was preparing for d4 and for knight f3 and for c4, because that's what the guy I had games from played. But anyway, I played the Caro-Kann, and he went for the exchange variation. Okay, so c takes d. Here he played knight to f3, I played knight to c6, and he played h3, which is a weird move. Now, here is where I chose between going for bishop f5 and e6, or g6, bishop g7. So I decided to go for g6, bishop g7, and for the e5 break afterwards. I sort of like those positions, so I played knight to f6. He played bishop to d3, stopping bishop to f5, obviously g6. He castled, bishop to g7, and here he played c3. I castled, rook to e1, rook to e8. Black is slightly worse here, but there's nothing major going on in the position. He has more activity. He has to play bishop to f4, taking up another strong diagonal. But even though black is cramped and worse, I know these positions, and I can either go for a6, b5, the minority attack, or I can go for e5, or I can go for both. So I played a6. Knight b to d2, and by the way, I'm going to run the engine analysis at the end of the video just to see where I went wrong, but I'm pretty aware of my mistakes already. b5. Now in many positions I'm threatening b4, creating a weakness on c6. It's not really easy for him to take. Here he played queen to c2, which I thought was, well, okay, it's the most logical move, but I wanted to play this anyway. I want to go for e5, so I played bishop to b7. Trying to break with e5. I'm going to play knight d7 and d5. He played knight to b3, which sort of goes into my play. I want to play knight to d7 anyway. Obviously I can't allow the knight to jump into c5. Here he played rook to e2, which I thought was a slight mistake, because he doesn't have time to double the rooks, because I played rook to c8. And now the pawn isn't hanging because he has 2 defenders. Obviously the c pawn is pinned, but I'm still threatening knight to b4, winning this important light squared bishop, and then my game is going to be easier. So he played queen to d1. Yeah, I thought he should have played queen here. I'm not sure why he played queen to d1. This seems like a much more logical move, trying to exchange the bishops and playing rook a to e1. But anyway, after rook c8 he played queen to d1, and this is where I made my first serious mistake, I think. The obvious move is e5, and after e5 black is equal in the Caro-Kann exchange variation. I knew that, and that activates all of my pieces, so this would be a sample continuation. I would take with the c knight to prevent the knight from jumping into c5. Now he can either take or not. I don't think it's too important, and I have sort of equality. I have a plan of playing knight b6, knight c4. This is a common plan, and yeah, my game is equal basically. But after queen to d1, I think I made a mistake. I played f6. I wanted to reinforce c5 and get 2 strong central pawns. The problem I saw was that my d5 pawn is going to be hanging, but I decided to let it go anyway. And the move I missed, which I realized afterwards, was that he could simply play rook to e6, and now if I play knight to f8, then he has knight here, or even though But I think my position is bad. Okay, here, yeah, he can't take, but what would he do? If he retreats, then e5 isn't as strong. I removed one of the defenders, but still, perhaps rook e6 wasn't that strong, the engine is going to say. But anyway, after f6 he played bishop to g3, and now I went for my break, e5, here, and after he retreats his bishop to c2, it's obvious that my pawn is hanging with check. And I was considering several things. The first thing I was considering was king to h8, because then he can't take the pawn. So if king h8, queen takes, then I have this move, attacking the queen and attacking the rook with check. So if he takes, I'm going to take here, here, and I have to be better, I think. So after king to h8, he would probably play something different. I'm not sure what. I didn't want to play king to h8 because my position is sort of inactive, and I gave him the move. Even though it's not that clear what he should play, I didn't really like this. Yeah, the thing is that now, if he doesn't take, he has to react because I'm threatening pawn to e4. So if he plays something stupid, I don't know, let's just give him a move. I'm threatening pawn to e4, so now he can't take because there's no check. And if I manage to exchange the pieces on d4, I figured I would be better with these two pawns. But anyway, after bishop to c2, I can't really move my knight anywhere good to defend the pawn, because then my e5 pawn is hanging. So if I defend my d4 pawn with the knight and with the queen this way, then I'm running into problems here. And he has this move, and I'm losing this pawn. So this was really tough. So after bishop to c2, I had two moves. I was considering knight here. Yeah, oh, this is hanging now. Okay, so he can't take here, and yeah, I'm not sure what he does. I was afraid in this variation. I thought he was going to go here, and then after this here, I guess I have to take this, and then he would have his bishop on this strong diagonal, or I would have a dead knight on a5. But perhaps knight to a5 was okay. Another move I was considering was knight to a7, simply defending the pawn, and then I'm going to go for e4. But I decided to play it aggressively. He's higher rated than me, and I wanted to open up the position for my bishops. I figured my bishops were stronger than his. And before playing f6, I saw this line, and I wanted to sacrifice a pawn, so I played d4. He took with the c pawn, I took. He took with the b knight, I took. And now he exchanged the rooks before recapturing, here, and here. And I thought I was slightly worse. I knew I had some compensation for the pawn. His position is very loose. The only thing he has going is that his king is safer and he's up a pawn, but I have very active pieces. My rook is stronger than his. His knight is sort of misplaced on d4, and his b2 pawn is weak. So obviously I can't really take the piece, because if I take here, the bishop isn't hanging. He can interpose bishop b3 check. So that wouldn't really be working. I played king to h8, and now if he doesn't do anything, this tactic still doesn't work, because if he takes, if I take, he takes with check. And after king to h8, he played bishop to b3, which I thought was a slight mistake. I have queen to e4 here, which I played, threatening mate and the piece, so knight to f3 is forced. I was also considering knight here. But yeah, the variation I saw now was what made me play queen to e4. I played queen to e4 because I calculated a lot in advance that after knight to f3 I would have bishop takes b2. The knight isn't hanging really. So what I was calculating was queen to e4, knight to f3, bishop takes f2, bishop takes b2, rook to b1, and then queen takes b1, a queen sacrifice, queen takes b1, because then I have rook to c1 check, because my bishop is defending c1. And I saw some problems, so this is what I was calculating. Bishop takes, he didn't play rook to b1. Rook b1, queen takes, check here. And now I was worried about checkmates. The only piece preventing checkmate is my knight, defending here, because if his bishop gets to e5, then I'm mated. So before I played bishop to b2, I had to be certain that he doesn't have any tricks. I was looking at this line, trying to remove the defender, but then I could just play bishop to c8, and if he takes, then I have king to g1. And another thing I was looking at, which I wasn't really sure about, was this move, but then I figured I could survive because I have knight to c5, and now if he checks me here, he's going to go here, check here, and then I can escape. No, but I lose my knight. Wait. Okay, so this was a tricky variation. I couldn't really calculate all of this correctly, but I figured I would find something and not lose. Okay, wait. Maybe I can just cover with the knight, like here, okay, here, check, here. Yeah, I guess this is fine. Although, what do I do now? I'm going to have to check this with an engine. Perhaps I would have run into some problems. This move was worrying me the most, but I guess I can just move my knight anywhere. I can't defend my knight here because then he has checkmate. Perhaps here might work. Here. Yeah, this is this is very scary. It's weird that you get checkmated by 3 minor pieces. Okay, after knight, I'm going to have to check this with an engine. But anyway, after knight to f3, I took on b2, but he didn't play rook to b1 going into this variation. He played queen to f1, a move which I completely missed. I missed it because I just didn't calculate the moves in which he was giving up his rook. Obviously, I can't take. If I take, it's checkmate. So, yeah, I can't take the rook. So after bishop takes b2, queen to f1, I was looking at several moves, and the move I looked at first, the most obvious move, must have been correct. I just misplayed the position. Knight c5 was the obvious move, and after rook here, I guess I can just move my queen here and be fine. Another move I was looking at after knight to c5 was here, and he doesn't have anything. So after knight c5, I guess rook e1, and then I move my queen away. I always wanted to go to f4, but to f5. Perhaps it works here. Still, if he plays knight here, then this is very scary. He's threatening checkmate. No, yeah, I can just take the knight. I'm blind. So okay, after bishop takes b2, queen to f1, I didn't play knight c5. The other move I was looking at was bishop to c3, and after here I didn't know what to do. Then knight c5, I guess I'm running into all sorts of problems. Here, check, and I lose the exchange. There was constantly this fear of losing the exchange or a piece in a lot of variations if I play queen to f5. But after queen to f1, I went to f6 with my bishop, which was just a bad move. I figured after bishop to f6, I'm going to have pressure on g2 and f3 still. And I expected rook to e1, and now I just blundered the piece. Just relating to my last middle game video, this is basically a move I was talking about. I played queen to f5. I played bishop to f6 to stop his knight and to preserve this diagonal, and then I figured, oh, queen to f5. I have pressure on f3, it's going to be great. And then he played bishop to e6, and I'm losing a piece, which I completely overlooked. And in all of my calculation, which went a lot of moves in depth in a lot of lines, I missed this obvious continuation, and that happens when you calculate one move for a long time and then you stop calculating it because you think it's not good. Then you choose a move and you don't calculate it properly and it just loses. So obviously this is just lost now. Yeah, so this was my game. I mean, I'm not sure. Let's see with the engine. I know I was worse in the opening. I don't know how much though. This was all okay. A6, yeah, +1, but I know these positions and I know the evaluation. Plus 0.7, it's nothing major, and I sort of have my plan. Queen to c2, bishop to b7. The engine's always like white here. Knight to d7. Here he should have played knight to e5, but I figured that was defended enough. Okay, here b5 I was looking at, but I wasn't sure what I'm supposed to do. Okay, b5. Yeah, perhaps I should have played b4, sorry, which was my idea anyway. But after rook e2 I wanted to threaten knight b4. Okay, here. Rook c8. Why is it so much better for him? Yeah, he should have played queen to d2. Queen d1 is equal or better for black after e5, yeah. So e5 takes, I was going to take with the c knight. Okay, takes here. Yeah, e5 is just equal. I know that e5 is equal, and f6 must be horrible. Okay, after queen d1, f6, let's see, yeah, +1 because of rook e6, yeah, obviously. And knight f8 I was looking at. What does he do now? Knight c5? Knight c5, how can he give up the exchange? Why does this make sense? Okay, let's challenge this sacrifice. Oh, okay, he has some sort of weird attack. I have to give up a piece. Why do I have to give up a piece? Takes. What? Okay, let's say I play something normal. What do I play? It's very tough actually. Let's say I block the diagonal like here. He takes anyway. Knight c5. Why do I have to give up pieces? What? I don't understand this at all. Why is this so much worse? Yeah, I don't understand why I'm losing. +6. How is this +6? I'm a rook up. Okay, but anyway, obviously rook e6, knight f8 didn't work for me, but it was really tough to see. After f6 he played bishop g3 and d5, finally d5, fe5, bishop to c2. Let's see, okay, knight a7 I was looking at. Let's see king h8, which was my first idea. Obviously he doesn't take because he loses. Okay, let's say this move. Defend here because I now have enough defenders here. Knight c5. Here. Takes. Yeah, king h8 was fine, obviously. Let's say knight a5, which I was also looking at. This is bad. Why is this so bad? Yeah, because of bishop to b3. Now my everything is weak. Okay, knight a7. Knight h2. Who would play knight h2? Okay, and yeah, my move I guess wasn't good. d4 +1. Takes 0. Okay, yeah, I thought I would be okay after some exchanges. Takes. Let's see, this is somewhat of a critical position here. King h8 I did play, and this is equal, better for white now. After bishop to b3 I'm actually slightly better. Okay, knight c5 was a move, and queen e4 also. I played queen e4, knight f3 is forced. He can't play queen to f3 because then I take. I can't take the knight because... oh yeah, I can take the knight with the bishop. Yeah, horrible. So okay, knight f3, and let's see, this was my variation. Bishop takes b2. I wasn't considering much else really. I wanted to look at knight c5, but then I figured he would, yeah, just play this, and I don't really want to exchange the pieces while I'm still material down. I guess this wouldn't work. Mate in 7, excellent. Yeah, I'm losing the bishop. So after knight f3, bishop b2 was correct. Let's just see this move after here. I don't take. He can't take my knight. What? Oh, the rook is hanging. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I could have also retreated my bishop. Perhaps that's why he didn't play rook to b1. Perhaps he didn't see queen takes b1. But okay, I was looking at queen takes b1, which is also equal. Takes. Takes, takes, takes. And now, okay, bishop here, I thought I had bishop c8, which is fine. This is correct. But what about knight? What about this move? I looked at knight c5 and check. I go into a discover check. Oh, my bishop is defended. Ah. Oh, and my knight is attacking the bishop. But okay, I was looking here. Here, this is also equal. Here, yeah, it doesn't really work because my knight is attacking the bishop. That's the point. I'm just stupid. Okay, so bishop takes b2, this variation did work, but he played queen to f1. Now let's see the critical position. Equal or slightly better for white. Equal again. Knight c5, obviously. Bishop c3, I guess, didn't work. Yeah, because of this variation, I have to retreat. Rook here, yeah, this is tough. But still, why would it be +3? I think this is a bit over-exaggerated. Okay, queen f1, knight c5 was correct. I played bishop f6, rook e1, and yeah, obviously I blundered the piece. Let's see if I could have saved the position. Yeah, bishop f6 was a bad move anyway, regardless of that. If I go here, I lose a piece this way. So I guess this is forced. I have only one move. Rook here anyway. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. I mean, it's bad, but the thing about this position is that it's always easier to play. For him, it was very complicated. Okay, yeah, but after bishop f6, rook e1 I played here, and just over, game over. Yeah, what to do? I mean, it's always bad when you lose, but I was outplayed, and I made a tactical mistake, and obviously I blundered the piece. I didn't have such a good opening anyway, and he outplayed me. Congratulations to the rest of my team. I'm very happy we won as a team. There are 11 rounds this season, and now we have 1 out of 1, which is great. We are the underdog in this league, obviously, as we were last season. Last season there were 15 teams. We were the last team according to rating, and then we won, so I hope we can do something similar this year. Please let me know what you think of the game. It was a very complex game. Try to find some variations for me. Thanks very much for watching, and stay tuned for more chess. Bye bye.